Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dhwani and you're watching the short story series by Storyscape Studio. So today I'm going to be talking about the festival of Navratri. Since Navratri is going on right now, I think it's very important to know why we celebrate Navratri, the story behind Navratri. All of us know that we celebrate Goddess Durga during these 9 days, the different forms of Goddess Durga during these 9 days. But have you ever wondered why do we celebrate this particular festival? Why do we worship Goddess Durga? How was she created? Why was she created? So this episode is going to be all about that. So without wasting any time, let's move on into the video. So Navratri is celebrated throughout India, but the significance of Navratri varies a little as per the region. For example, in Eastern India, especially in West Bengal, it's celebrated as Durga Pujo or Vijay Dashmi for that matter. In Gujarat or in the western part of India, Gujarat and the northern part of India, it's known as Navratri. In south, it's known as something else. But the festival of Navratri remains the same. The importance of the festival remains the same. So there are many different stories behind Navratri, and I'm going to be talking about one of the most famous stories behind Navratri. So let's begin. So according to mythological tales, there was an Asur by the name of Mahishasur. He was the king of all Asurs and he was obviously very powerful. And if you've noticed in all my previous videos, I've mentioned that the Devas and Asuras were always at loggerheads with each other. Always wanted to be dominant over the other. And obviously, Mahishasur also wanted to have power over all the three realms, earth, heaven and hell as well. And hence he kept on going on wars with the Devas. But he could not defeat them, unfortunately. And hence he realized that he needed some more powers, a blessing from a powerful trinity in order to beat the Devas. And hence he went on a meditation, he prayed to Lord Brahma. After several years of strict meditation and strict prayers, Brahma finally appeared in front of him. Mahishasur only wanted one thing. He only wanted immortality, so that he was sure that he could never ever be defeated by any god. Lord Brahma knew that he could not grant him immortality, but since he was his devotee, he had to grant him something. So Lord Brahma clearly told him one thing, that Mahishasur, you would not be killed by any god, any man or any beast or any deva for that matter. Mahishasur was very happy with this boon. He thought that Brahma had actually given him immortality, and hence he became complacent, arrogant and extremely powerful. He went on a war with the Devas and won. Slowly his power grew, and with power he started misusing them even more. Finally, the Devas saw no end to his atrocities and they approached Lord Vishnu to do something about it. Lord Vishnu advised them to go to Lord Shiva instead. Since he was the god of destruction, he might have a better plan to deal with Mahishasur. So the Devas went to Mount Kailasa, where Lord Shiva resided, and requested him to help them out. At that point, Lord Shiva was also accompanied by his consort, Devi Parvati, and both of them together sought to help the Devas out. So with their combined powers, they created a goddess, a divine Shakti who was actually part of Goddess Parvati and Lord Shiva as well. Her name was Goddess Durga. She's actually an avatar of Goddess Parvati, a different form of Goddess Parvati or of Shakti for that matter, since Goddess Parvati is also known as the divine Shakti. And Goddess Durga appeared in front of all the Devas with her 10 hands. The Devas each Deva gifted a different weapon to Goddess Durga to enhance her power. And she appeared fierce and ready to take on Mahishasur in battle. But the Devas were confused. They knew that Mahishasur was extremely powerful, and they knew that he had the powerful boon given by Lord Brahma. But Lord Shiva and Lord Parvati just smiled, and they told the Devas to not worry and let Goddess Durga take the reins. Finally, Goddess Durga came and appeared in front of Mahishasur and challenged him to go on war with her. Mahishasur had become too complacent. His arrogance was showing. He thought if no devas or beast could kill him, how could a mere woman kill him? He underestimated the power of Shakti. He underestimated the power of a goddess, of a woman. And that was his biggest mistake. So he went into battle with goddess Durga with confidence and arrogance. Mahishasur was actually an asur with the body of half bull and half man. Hence, he was gifted with the power of an animal as well as the power of an asur. To beat him was actually quite difficult. But goddess Durga was more than a match for him. The battle commenced and it went on for 9 days. It is said that on each day, a different avatar of goddess Durga was actually present to fight Mahishasur. Finally, after 9 days of rigorous battle, on the 10th day, goddess Durga finally killed Mahishasur with a fatal blow. In the end, Mahishasur was confused. He thought nobody could ever kill him. He was given the boon of immortality. That's when goddess Durga broke his ego and told him that Lord Brahma had given him a boon that no man or beast or human could kill him. But she was in fact a goddess, a woman, and hence she could kill him without breaching the boon. Mahishasur realized his folly and finally welcomed death. And hence the mission was successful. Okay guys, time for a little fun fact. So we all know that Navratri is actually celebrated for 9 days, and the 10th day, that is the end of Navratri, is actually celebrated as Dashera. Now Dashera is generally celebrated because Lord Ram actually killed Ravan on that particular day to rescue his wife Sita. But have you guys ever wondered why do we celebrate it right after Navratri? So there are different significant stories behind it. So Dashera is also known as Vijay Dashami, and that is because goddess Durga killed Mahishasur on that day, and which actually celebrates the winning of good over evil. So it is also said that Lord Ram, before going into battle on that particular day, worshipped to goddess Durga in order to grant him victory. And on that same day, the day he worshipped goddess Durga, he managed to kill Ravan and win the battle. And hence that day is celebrated after Navratri, which is Dashera, which signifies the ultimate belief that Lord Ram also had in goddess Durga, and obviously to celebrate the win of goddess Durga over Mahishasur by killing him on that day. There is also a belief in the eastern part of India that Uma or goddess Parvati, who got married to Lord Shiv and went to reside in Mount Kailasa with him, actually comes back to her maternal home during the period of Navratri. And hence this entire period of Navratri is also known as the homecoming for most of the married women. And hence most married women actually come back to their maternal homes for a short while during this festival. Did you guys also know that this festival is actually celebrated to commemorate or to respect the entire concept of femininity? We all celebrate Navratri by playing Garba and Dandiya. So Garba is in fact layered with symbolisms which worships and respects or celebrates the divine femininity. This entire festival is actually celebrated to celebrate the feminine form of divinity. Garba is a dance that honors, worships and celebrates the same. The word Garba comes from the Sanskrit word Garbh, meaning womb. Traditionally, this dance is performed by women in a circle around a clay lantern with a light inside called a Garbha Deep or womb lamp. The Garbha Deep has another symbolic interpretation. The vessel itself is a symbol of the body within whom divinity in the form of goddess or Devi resides. Garba is danced around this symbol to honor the fact that all humans have the divine energy of Devi within them. So the next time you play Garba or you celebrate the festival of Navratri, make sure you remember this fact and worship and celebrate the divine femininity that resides within all of us irrespective of our gender. So that's it for this time guys. I hope you guys liked my story. If you did, please do like, comment and share the story with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click on the bell icon to not miss any of my updates. Also follow me on Instagram under the name of storyscape_studio. I'll be back again very soon with another interesting story. Till then, stay safe, happy Navratri, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.